I brought a gun to this fight. You're now cotton candy, bitch. No.
Yes, for those out there, that is from Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I forgot last time we were talking, but...
If this thing shot cotton candy, I'd be dead from diabetes.
I wonder what's on the tube.
Welcome back.
Thank you for being a friend.
What you talking about, Willis?
You are a meathead. No soup for you.
Don't touch that dial. Adjust those bunny ears, because what time of year is it, Jay?
It's that beautiful time of year where we look back at a season full of gems and polished turds.
Oh,
as we give awards to some of the greatest and a lot of the shittiest shows that ever graced your airwaves. This is the second annual Sitcomies? That doesn't have a good ring to it. I don't know.
No, I don't. That doesn't sound right.
The cities? I'm not gonna.
Yeah, and the commies, that's just totally out there.
Not a good time to be a commie.
Unless you're, gonna be starting a Dragon Ball Z thing there, the Kamehameha, whatever.
We talked about bringing this nerd shit in here. I don't know none of that, Nick, all right?
Hey.
I stopped watching it Dragon Ball C.
Dragon Ball C. So, yeah, we've watched, how many shows this season, Jay? About
20. We did 19 new and then one back from the previous season. Nick's favorite, probably going to get a lot of awards tonight. Full House.
There we go.
Back to the list. Actually, let's go over them all right here. I got, in no particular order, we got your potential nominees for this award show: Full House, The Beverly Hillbillies, Police Squad, Clarissa Explains It All, Taxi, Father Ted, Too Close for Comfort, Speechless, What's Happening, Good Times, Freaks and Geeks, The Addams Family, That 80s Show, That 70s Show, Partners, The King of Queens, Everybody Loves Raymond, The Munsters, The Oblongs, and Fuck Troop. I mean, F Troop.
Yes. F that troop, yes.
The fuck Howie, as we discussed. If you want to know what that means, go back and listen to our F Troop episode. But those are the shows that are potential nominees for these awards that Nick and myself have come up with for this wonderful second annual City Shitty awardee. I'm bald. Can I be the golden bald statue?
Yeah, there we go. We'll just take a picture of your head and we'll just make it golden.
Anyone who got presented with me would be very upset. They'd be like, "You don't need to play the music. I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna leave the stage of my own free will. No, thank you."
Oh my God.
As we did last time, we figured out a pretty good way to do it. We each pick 2 nominees for each of those categories, and then we compare, we contrast. If they match, possibly we got a good winner there. And if they don't, then we fucking battle it out verbally.
Yes. Why don't you start the festivities?
Festivities. Okay, let me pull up my magical document here. Let's see.
The first award.
Do we start out positive or negative?
It doesn't matter.
Hey, you know what? Let's start with a big one, I think.
Okay.
This award's nominees come to you from Dirk Plunkett. Who do you think had the funniest ensemble cast? Ensemble. I googled it just to be sure. 4 or more they qualify. 4 or more.
Got it.
All right, my first nominee was the evergreen Taxi.
Yes, which I would also nominate for ensemble cast.
Oh, we already got a match, huh?
Yeah, we have a match. What about your next?
My second nominee. Curious. Everybody Loves Raymond.
And that's my other.
Okay, all right.
Damn it!
Right
So we
off
have we have double match,
Right.
which now puts us at a okay. Which one wins?
Fight.
Begin.
I brought a gun to this fight. You're now cotton candy, bitch.
Yes, for those out there, that is from Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I forgot last time we were talking, but
If this thing shot cotton candy, I'd be dead from diabetes. I'd just be sitting here shooting this thing. Okay, Everybody Loves Raymond. I know your favorite show.
well, hold on. Remember when we did our top shows? What was actually number one?
Oh, you moved Taxi to the top? Okay.
Taxi is on top. Second is Everybody Loves Raymond. So, dilemma.
It just so happens that both of your top shows were ensembles. Great ensembles.
Yes, exactly.
You know, I think I'm gonna throw it out there. I think Taxi's got to get the edge, just because of the amazing,
agree.
long-lasting talent that has come out of that show.
Yeah, and it truly is amazing. The writing was spectacular for these characters.
And if you count the children as part of the Everybody Loves Raymond ensemble, that really drags it down.
Yeah, no. Yeah, like for the
not
Everybody
about the
Loves
kids.
Raymond, it's Ray, Deb, Robert, Amy, and Marie and Frank. That's basically with some guests by the McDougalls. But yes.
Fun fact, though, Taxi. Not only do we cover Addams Family, but Taxi star Christopher Lloyd also played Fester in the 1990s Addams Family films.
That is correct. Yes, which was Addams Family and Addams Family Values.
So we got a winner with Taxi.
So our first one. Woo!
Oh, nice job, Taxi. You were destined to win something. Jim Burrows, all the creative people behind the show, in front of the camera. All right, my friend. What do you think you wanted? What do you want to present for the second award?
Okay, let's stay on actually the good side, the light side of the force here.
So the second half of the show will be all negative.
No. Unexpected gem / underrated show.
Yes. I'm glad you added both on there.
Yeah.
Because there was a few that I'd seen before that I already knew,
Yes, and that's the thing. The way I thought of it is, something maybe that you had seen that I hadn't seen. It's like, oh my God, how'd I miss this? Or vice versa. Or that we both hadn't seen. It's like, oh my God, this is so good.
All right, I'm very curious to hear. What do you got for this one for your first nominee?
For the first nominee, Speechless.
Ah, yes. A show that I told you from the get that I loved.
Yes.
Much like Raising Hope last season, I said, you're going to love it. And you did, thankfully.
Oh, yeah. Not only did I love it, also my wife loved it too. This was good. This was good watching.
Oh, yeah. Minnie Driver just fucking kills
Oh, my
it.
God. She was so good.
And the dad on there, that dude, the whole cast is hysterical. And the kids, it's so hard to find funny kids.
It's true.
Modern Family did it. Different Strokes did it. Speechless did it. But a lot of shows just can't quite pull off the funny kids. All right. My first nominee for Unexpected Gem or Underrated Show is actually Father Ted. A show that I had never seen. I don't believe you had ever seen. We kind of pulled it out of nowhere.
Yeah. It's like, let's do a British one. And when looking for a British show, we wound up watching an Irish show.
An Irish show, yep.
But thank God we did, because it was fantastic.
Was it 3 series, I believe, right?
Yes.
Not a super long show. Very short seasons.
Correct.
But very funny. All right, your second nominee?
Second nominee, Freaks and Geeks.
Oh,
Our
okay.
our first actual dramedy that we watched.
Mhm. Yeah, amazing cast. All these people went
Oh
on
my
to
god,
great things.
The cast, the people behind the camera too. Yeah,
Well, one of them went on to great things and then bad things. But
yeah.
James Franco, how you doing, bud?
Oh hey, yeah, cousin James. Yeah. Let me tell you
All right.
about him.
All right.
Okay.
Well, my second nominee is Speechless. Yes, that's a win there for Speechless. I was hoping you felt that way about that show.
Oh yes, and to tell you the truth, also, I had put like what I would put for like all the nominees, and basically Speechless and Father Ted were both on there, as well as Freaks and Geeks and Police Squad.
Yep.
Yeah, so yeah, but again, Speechless, fantastic show. If you have not watched it yet out there, please do.
Again, a perfect little package. It was what, three seasons as well, I think.
I believe so. Yeah.
Great. They got a finale, which a lot of shows don't get. They got a
do
finale,
not get that.
and they wrapped it up in a nice little bow, and yeah, great performances all around. And my buddy that I love from Reno 911, Cedric Yarborough's on there. He's funnier than hell. Yeah. So.
Oh my god. Okay, your second award. Do we wish to enter the dark side?
I think that was a strip club I went to in Detroit.
Hey.
All right. Yeah. Which show was the biggest letdown?
Oh, biggest
For me-
letdown.
For me, when I was thinking of this, it kind of is something that actually kind of bubbled you up. Like, oh, this could be something I like. And then let down. I feel like in order to be let down, you have to be built up a little bit first, right?
Correct. And which of those did you think?
Well, I talked about my excitement upon hearing the news of this show, and
Let's
that
see
would
if-
be Partners.
Yes, sir. And for me as well. Like, oh my
Partners.
God, Martin Lawrence,
Grammer?
Kelsey
Martin Lawrence?
Grammer. It's like, this has got to be great.
Talk about a fucking easy win, man.
Oh, and it's just like there are moments there that it's like, oh, this good. Oh, damn it!
You could have taken the shittiest buddy cop movie script and thrown them in. It would have worked better than this.
Mm-hmm.
The yin, the yang, the black, the white, the uptight, the loosey-goosey. Like, it was so fucking easy. And I still think the main thing they failed at is you didn't let Martin be Martin.
No, there was one sequence when they kind of let him play,
Mm-hmm.
and that was it.
A real shame. My second nominee,
Is
What's Happening?
really okay.
Mm-hmm.
My second nominee would be Too Close for Comfort.
Okay, I get that as well.
Yeah.
For me, I didn't know if I expected more from What's Happening. For me, What's Happening has great characters.
Yes.
Strangely, I don't really like the leads that much. The guys, the three boys, don't really hook me as much as
Okay.
the women did on that show.
Oh, the women on the show are
Shirley
freaking-
Hemphill and Dee and
Yep.
Mama.
and Mama, and
They were the ones who stole the show for me. Unfortunately, the storylines weren't that interesting to me. And the three main, like, Rerun did nothing for me. As a fellow fat boy, Rerun should have been my boy. And he just didn't. Him and Dwayne and what was the other one's name? I
Raj.
forget his name on it. Raj. Just, they weren't it for me. And it's weird because I love Good Times so much. And in my head,
Yes.
I think I built it up as like a Good Times type of show.
yeah. In
And
fact,
to me, good.
we followed Good Times with What's Happening.
So for
And-
me, Good Times is so far up the ladder
Yes.
that What's Happening just kind of didn't make it up as many rungs. So for me, that was a big letdown.
Got it.
Now, what made you think Too Close for Comfort should have? It's got to be your love for Ted Knight, and then going, what the fuck happened here?
Yeah, well, that is, again, in our first season, we watched the Mary Tyler Moore Show. And if you
Yeah,
want to
one of the
see
greats.
classic Ted Knight, please watch the Mary Tyler
Classic.
Moore Show.
Everybody. Ed Asner,
Oh,
Betty
everyone
White,
on that
Mary
show.
Tyler Moore. Oh yeah, everybody.
But yeah, in Too Close for Comfort, like looking back at it, again, when I was young, it seemed like, oh, okay, if this was on, funny, haha, whatever. Yeah, Ted Knight did some, the physical comedy.
I think I mentioned it on the episode where I was like, I remembered liking that show, and then watching it, I'm going, I don't know if I've ever seen this fucking show.
Yeah, and the thing is, I remember like, oh yeah, like that was good when I was young, and it's like, oh, I guess I really didn't totally get it, and yeah, that wasn't that good.
Well, we do have a winner though, which would be, well, a loser, I guess.
Yes.
The loser is the winner. That would be Partners.
Yay!
Congrats, or I'm sorry. I'm not sure which one.
Oh, yeah.
I am not sure which one of those you would like. I do have a fun fact for you. Jim Bullock of Too Close for Comfort. Not related to Sandra Bullock.
Oh. Well, let me take a walk on the dark side here. And let's go with the award I'm going to call the Jar Jar. Basically, the character we could have done without. And,
yep.
And while we're on the subject, my first nominee is Monroe Ficus from Too Close
what
for Comfort.
Show? Yeah. I think I've heard of that show. Again, not related to Sandra Bullock.
Yes.
All right. Well, my first nominee, you said characters we could have done without.
Yeah, a character we could have done without.
My first nominee was actually someone we eventually did do without. Randall Carver as John Burns on Taxi.
Yes. And again, it wasn't the fact of like, oh, like when they were the ensemble going on, it was fine because he was pretty much background during those things.
He wasn't horrible.
But it was a John-centric story.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, let down.
It wasn't that he was horrible.
No.
It was just that he wasn't, everyone else was so outstanding.
Yeah, he wasn't interesting.
And then his plots, as you mentioned, and his very few traits were all redundant with other better characters.
Correct.
So they did phase
After
him out there.
one.
Season 1? Yeah. So that was my first nominee. What's your second nominee?
My second nominee. Do I go into the like getting the hate mail?
Oh God, here we go. I want to hear it.
Kimmy Gibbler.
Ooh, nice.
Just it was. She was just annoying after a while. I would have rather focused on the girls. On Stephanie, DJ. Yeah, it's like yeah, you can have once in a while a friend come over, but it's just like. When she was over, she hogged all the attention and she sucked the
Well, you're really
out.
not gonna like Fuller House because she basically replaces Michelle on the reboot.
Oh, you got it, dude.
The Olsens wouldn't do the show, so she came in as the third sister, basically.
Oh God.
But I do understand her purpose on the show because they did not want to sully those daughters at all. They didn't want to make them make bad decisions. Anything, so they needed someone to be the bad influence. I think. And then here's what I think happened too is because they brought in Kimmy to kind of do that, but then I think people kind of liked Kimmy, and then they didn't want to do that to Kimmy either, and then they just bring in random other girlfriends from school to do that part. So she did really have no purpose after they made her just another character.
It's like I think that's what to me. She sucks the funny away from the girls, the primary girls.
Also, it's Full House, not Full House plus the house next door. Get that bitch out of here. We have enough people in this fucking house.
Who's this bitch?
There's like 11 people in that fucking house already. You don't need another one. But she also wasn't in every episode. And I don't even I don't know how early she came in either. She might have been a later edition.
I think it was
2, 3.
Yeah, it was either like later in 1 or like in 2. I forget. Yeah,
you know what? I bet you she was a response to Urkel.
Which I wouldn't be surprised. The
she
TGIF,
seems like a similar vein. They probably were like, "Hey, this show needs an Urkel."
Yeah. hey, they had an episode with Urkel. Come on.
Right. Well, eventually, yeah.
Yeah, eventually.
All right, my
Your
second nominee. I think I'm going to surprise you. Randy Pearson of that 70s show.
Now, here's the funny thing. Randy and John were both also on my list. It's just, who did I think higher of lower?
Well, and here's, I'll tell you one thing. I was going to put old fucking Ficus on there. Monroe.
That's the only good thing from that show. It's like, Ted Knight's character go, Monroe. That's
Monroe. It. Oh my God. Oh, okay.
What?
I was gonna put him on there. I did think that there's a better category that I wanted to throw him in.
There's something I want to throw him in. The
blender?
Character. Again, not the actor Jim J.
If you'd like to see the thing I want to throw him in, watch the end of Halloween Ends.
Oh God.
No, I think that Randy, though, that 70s show was so good, and the fact that they already had so many characters, and then felt the need to bring in some bullshit, boring ass character to replace Eric.
Eric, yeah.
You didn't need that. Honestly, the show would have been better. And even, I think they kind of even phased him out a little more toward the end. Like, he was barely in the finale episode, if I recall.
He was in 21 of the episodes of that last season. But, yeah, it's just like, oh, yeah, we didn't need that much Randy. No.
I do have a fun fact for that 70s show.
Oh.
Bob Pinciotti was actually in more episodes than Kelso. Wrap your head around that one.
That is, okay.
I was like, wait, Bob was in like 200 and Kelso's only in like 183 or something like that.
Oh, shit. I did not realize that.
Because he wasn't in, half of that last season or whatever.
Okay, so we got 4, and again, when I made my list, those are the 4.
Mm-hmm.
It's just Monroe, was just the king of the bottom for me.
There's some jokes to be made there.
Exactly. Yeah, that didn't sound right, but yeah.
Nick, come on,
again,
man.
He's the Jar Jar. He's the Jar Jar.
King of the bottom. I hope he gets a badge. Okay, well, here's my thing.
We'll each eliminate one from the other.
All right. I would definitely say of those, I think Randy and Monroe are the two clear worst.
Yeah. You are correct.
Now, I don't know. I don't know where your list lies, but I would say Monroe's going to come up a bit later. And Randy definitely deserves some shade.
Well, if we've got something else for Monroe...
I've got something else for Monroe.
Okay. If we have something else for Monroe, that is fitting.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Best lead male.
Then we'll throw the bone to Randy Pearson.
I will not. If anyone's going to throw the bone to Randy Pearson, it's going to be Monroe.
Exactly.
The king of the bottoms.
Exactly.
All right. Randy Pearson, congratulations on being the worst part of that 70s show.
Misa no like you, Randy. Misa no like. You've become the Jar Jar.
Wow.
All right. Next on your list.
Next on my list. Let's see. Let's go. How about most iconic vehicle? There's some classic cars on these shows that we watched this season.
Oh, yeah.
I would say my first nominee is actually not one vehicle, but 3 vehicles that apparently were put together. 3 Ford Model Ts were used to make the Munsters coach.
Oh, yeah.
Classic there. There's also, of course, possible options were like the Dragula
as well, yeah. But, yeah, no, Munsters coach itself is one of the classic cars in sitcom history.
Mm-hmm.
I would also nominate the Munsters coach.
Ooh, okay. We're on a lot of the same page tonight.
Yes.
All right, my second nominee is a 1921 Oldsmobile Model 26 Roadster owned by the Clampetts, also known as the Swamp Rat on Beverly Hillbillies.
Oh, boy. Okay, we're doing this again.
That was also your second nominee, huh?
Yes, that would be also my second nominee because, again, it is a classic car that also
Features in a
more
classic
than a
opening.
car. Yeah, it's that opening. It's more than a car.
Yeah, that classic. We talked about the importance of Jed Clampett's theme, the opening song there for the Beverly Hillbillies.
Yep.
The fact that I think every iteration of the opening, they're in the car. It's a huge part of the show. The origin of the show. It's so integral to the show. And I think it's technically the boy's car, Jethro, right?
Was it his mom's or something like that?
Because in the first episode, he shows up in it with her and like drives it through the chicken coop or something.
Right. Yeah, that's why I'm saying I think it was his mom's, but yeah, she let him drive.
Did I tell you that I learned that actress who played his mother, Jethro's mother on the Beverly Hillbillies, was actually the first choice of Lucille Ball to play Ethel Mertz?
Wow. Yes, I
you
remember you mentioning that, but it's still like hard to believe.
That's nuts. Could have been a whole new show.
Well,
which one do you think is a more the Munsters coach versus the Beverly Hillbillies Swamp Rat?
Yeah,
I could tell you which one I'd choose.
Yeah, this is a hard one for me. Like, if it's young me, I'm choosing the Munsters coach. In rewatching these shows, being that the Munsters also had, like you said, the Dragula, it's like
it shared the spotlight a little. You're saying?
Yeah, it shared the spotlight a bit. So, given that, I'm giving it to the Beverly Hillbillies. The Swamp
I think
Rat.
my favorite ride in the Munsters would have been Lily, but
hey now, or Marilyn.
Oh yeah. Which one?
Oh no.
Not this again.
But yeah, I'm giving it to the Beverly Hillbillies Swamp Rat.
All right. I was hoping you'd say that. They were both great, but I think that yes, the Swamp Rat does seem a little more integral to the show. I think it's almost in every episode. Every time they walk out that front door, it's right there.
Yep.
Right, you know what I mean? Always there. Like I said, in the opening, every single episode. That's how we were first introduced to them. Neither of the intros for the Munsters feature the car, correct? It's all the doorway stuff.
It's the doorway.
Which is also an iconic opening, but
true.
It's not most iconic doorway.
No.
You know what?
Oh, God, we should have had the most iconic doorway.
If we did an award for the most iconic doorway, you know what, Herman? You'd have got it.
Oh.
Also a very iconic doorway, Lily's vagina. Anyway.
Hey, now. Yeah, because it was pretty magical. Yeah, Herman went in and a werewolf boy went out. I don't know. Hey, now.
I kept waiting for the mailman or the milkman to show up and be a werewolf.
or you can go by that strange
creepy uncle.
Yeah, creepy
Uncle
uncle
Wolfie.
from the Rob Zombie movie.
Uncle Wolfie.
Okay,
I think he actually was
that.
I think he actually was on the old show. But
how about a show that was worthy of another season but didn't get it?
Show worthy of another season, but didn't get it. All right, what you got? What's your first nominee, my friend?
Speechless. Again, it did have an ending, but it seemed like they had to kind of, oh shit, we have to end this. You know, like they wanted probably to extend it a little bit, but
I wonder sometimes with shows like that because I feel like Minnie Driver is so well known for movies. Like I wonder if they can only get these people sometimes for short commitments or something.
That's possible.
Or if it is like a network, like, we're going to cancel it.
But that is one I think was very worthy of another season. Like,
Hey, I would have taken it. The show's great.
yeah, it did not overstay its welcome.
No, it's like like for me, Raising Hope was the same thing. Four perfect little seasons.
Yep.
Every episode's hysterical, and you wrap it up in a beautiful little bow. I think both those shows are so comparable, not only with the genius writing,
True.
the underrated, the short run, but the quality of it. Oh god,
That is correct.
great cast too. That like a lot of people don't know. Like Martha Plimpton of Raising Hope, you might know her from when she was younger on like The Goonies. But
Right.
other than that, what do you really know her from, right?
That's true.
If you didn't watch Raising Hope, you're fucking missing out. The father on there,
Yeah, see, I knew him from the Terminator: The Sarah Connor Chronicles, the TV show.
he was on The Walking Dead, right? Wasn't he on The Walking Dead or some shit?
I don't know if he was. He
I
might
would
have
love
been.
They should have put Cloris Leachman on The Walking Dead.
Oh my God.
Maybe they still can, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, hey. Let's, it's a Cloris.
Oh, damn it. I miss you.
So, Jay, what show was worthy of getting another season? It was perfect that it, of what it had, but could have gone longer.
I wouldn't say my first nominee was perfect for what it had, because it deserved a little more. And I think there was so much potential that I would have loved to see what they did with it with Police Squad.
Oh, yes. Only 6 episodes did we get.
Yes. We got 3 films, though.
We did get 3 films, though.
3 films that
Yes.
are kind of in the same,
Yes. Yeah,
different characters here and there, a few of the same, some of
Yeah.
them not, whatever, but
yeah, like
different actors.
Nordberg. Well, we'll just say that.
Yes, there was no murderers as far as we know in the show.
the TV show.
On the show. Or in the movie, don't kill me. Oh my god. I'm so sorry.
Hey. If he did it. No. From my second one, I am actually going to put Freaks and Geeks because it was a great show for the episodes it got. It got no backing from the network. So basically they just did what they could and finished. And Jay's got
Fun
a fact.
fact. There was an episode of Freaks and Geeks that they actually banned at the network. And apparently it was because it was the episode where we learned about Kelly's family being quite abusive toward her. And they thought it was too much. So apparently
wow.
if you watched Freaks and Geeks in its original TV run,
You would not see
you don't
that.
know, you wouldn't have seen that, and you would have been like, why the fuck are these 2 girls friends all of a sudden? Because that was the episode that bonded them.
Correct.
So I guess that wasn't seen until DVD release.
Wow. I did not know. Or streaming, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think DVD probably came first.
Yeah,
honestly.
first, yeah. What is your second nominee?
I actually went with The Oblongs, which I think is a brilliantly funny show.
Oh, yes.
And also criminally underrated, which I thought about
Very, very underrated.
And I think that absolutely deserved a second season.
Now, Jay, I'm going to also go again to my list of what I put there, and those 4 shows are the ones that I put. Oh.
So well cast, in fact, that in 2001, the Oblongs won the Artios Award for Best Casting for Animated Voiceover.
Wow. And again, fantastic voice cast.
Mm-hmm. Will Ferrell being just one of the many.
Yes. So, where do we go on this?
Oblongs, Police Squad, Speechless,
and Freaks and Geeks. Well, let's say this. Out of these, Speechless did get 3 seasons.
Mm-hmm. 3 great seasons.
3 great seasons. So, do we just on that basis, does it not make it because the other ones only really got one go around? Although technically the Oblongs, it was 13 episodes, but they kind of said, "Oh, okay, yeah, season 1, season 2
yeah.
on some showings."
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I would be all in for the Oblongs, but you tell me what you're all in for.
You see, of these 4 shows, I love Police Squad. I'm always the one to remind people that the Naked Gun movies actually had a beginning beforehand.
I did consider Freaks and Geeks, but I think I preferred all of those actors in the films I've seen them in rather than the show.
True. And again, yeah, you got to consider that as well. Would they have gone on to the careers that they had?
I do have another fun fact for you.
Oh.
Stay on.
I think that was SOS.
Help me.
Uh-oh.
John Francis Daly, who played Sam in Freaks and Geeks, was actually the only cast member who was the same age as his character, 14.
Oh, wow. That I did not know. And did you know that he, the first time he ever played Dungeons and Dragons was for the show? He got so into it, he was one of the writers behind the new Dungeons and Dragons movie.
I only watched half of it, but the half I watched was pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
I did laugh. I fell asleep, but I laughed for the first half, and then I never watched the rest of it.
You know what? I have a thing for animated shows, so I think you can, being that it was on my list as well. I think I can go with the Oblongs.
Yeah, the Oblongs. Unfortunately, yeah. Oh, sing it, baby, sing it.
Oh yeah.
Down in the valley where a chemical spill, boom, 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 came from the people living up on the hill. There's a family by the landfill with hazardous foam in their happy going home. Oblongs. Yes.
And that was They Might Be Giants.
Yes, indeed. And unfortunately, I know the creator, Angus Oblong, was not a huge fan of the way the show turned out, unfortunately. So that may be a reason that it's never gotten a second life. I feel like that would have been an easy... In a world where Futurama and Family Guy can all be canceled and picked up and...
canceled and picked up and yeah.
Over and over and over. I feel like there's a place where the Oblongs could come back, but I wonder if there's bad blood between him and maybe WB still owns it, or I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure on the ownership rights.
I believe that was a WB show, if I remember originally.
But it was a perfect show for, like, the first time I really saw it was actually in the Adult Swim on Cartoon Network.
Yep.
And it's like, oh, wow, this is a great show. It's like, where'd this come from? And then
I watched the original run, and I don't know if we covered it in the original episode we did on it, but I don't remember all of them airing. I don't think it aired very long.
No, I think, what was it? It might have been 3 episodes, did not?
You're just like, oh, this show's great. Oh, where'd it go? Wait, what? Guys? TV Guide channel?
Hello?
Oh, kids, back then we had to look at the TV Guide channel. Don't ask. And before that, they had to look at the actual TV Guide.
That is true. Okay, Jay, what's your next category?
Let me see. My name's Punky Osborne. I'd like to present you the award for Most Lasting Legacy Actor or Actress. Your first nominee is the great, albeit short, Daniel DeVito.
Yes.
I think it's hard to argue that Danny DeVito is one of the greatest icons of TV and film. He's one of the few that
was able to make
conquered
the transition.
Both. Yes. Your first nominee.
Yeah, and like after many years in film, come back to TV and still be killing it.
Still kill it.
Yep.
He was actually added to the Always Sunny like second season.
Mm-hmm.
Because they were like, we just need a little flavor. And
can you imagine that show without Frank?
he was not Cousin Oliver, thank God. They added him to the show, and it
it was a good addition. Okay. For mine, let's see, most lasting. Whew. Yeah, this one's harder.
I think there's a very interesting choice that I'm interested to see.
I am going to actually nominate from one of your favorite sitcoms.
Melissa Joan Hart? Clarissa, explain them.
Yeah, woo! No. The great Jerry Stiller.
Yes.
But when you think of one of the greatest sitcoms of all time, many people will say Seinfeld. Mm-hmm. And one of the most memorable characters, George's dad.
Ironically, played by a different actor to begin with.
Yeah, which is...
Jerry Stiller is best known on that show for playing his dad, and he was not the first actor to play the role.
Right. Yeah, and that's quite interesting on that show, the fact of both George's dad and Jerry's dad were played by different actors.
Elaine's dad was only in that one episode, wasn't he?
I believe so, yeah.
We never met Kramer's dad? No, we met his mom.
Right, but no, I don't think we met his dad. But yeah, I will put up for the nomination, Mr. Jerry Stiller.
Oh man, R.I.P. to a legend.
Oh yeah.
He was very close to being my second choice. Mm-hmm. I don't know that. Younger people maybe not knowing him.
Right.
Being a side character on Seinfeld, not in as many, but obviously, and strangely, not the first choice for the father on King of Queens, right? Or not the first actor, at least.
Right.
They did do a pilot, right, with somebody else, I think.
I think you're right, but like when you watch the first episode, not the pilot, but the first episode, yeah, at that point it's Jerry Stiller.
Yeah. I think they reshot it with him or something. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I went with a man who I love from voiceover work on such thing as The Simpsons. A man who has a reboot of his classic show that just began airing again, which maybe will introduce a new generation to him. And a man who starred in one of the worst shows we watched on this season. I actually went with Kelsey Grammer, ironically.
Yeah.
Kelsey Grammer himself?
Yes.
Icon.
Yes.
Partners, not so much.
It's like the show you will never remember him from Partners. Yes.
But yes, my second choice was actually Kelsey Grammer.
Yes, that is a good choice. And you see, I didn't think of him because I was thinking of
the show itself.
Yeah, from the season shows. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, Kelsey Grammer. We're back with Jim Burrows. We talked about Taxi with Cheers, Frasier. Like I said, the Frasier reboot is out. I have not seen it. I don't know if it's good. I think there's only one episode out, perhaps. But Sideshow Bob on The Simpsons, one of my favorite characters of all time for animated as well. Yeah, I think that even though Partners is garbage, and he's done a couple of garbage shows,
yes,
I think he's still got a very long-lasting legacy.
That is true. So given this, like now I gotta reconsider on some of my things here, because now it's like, oh, well, even if the show wasn't,
that's why I did
good
show and actor, right?
Yeah,
I have to differentiate.
Yeah, because
it's not like Kelsey Grammer was terrible on Partners. He just the writing was terrible.
Yeah, the show itself just was not.
He just played together. Himself again. He just played Frasier again,
basically.
Even Martin Lawrence crossed my mind for that, but I almost feel like he he hasn't done anything in so long, I feel like.
True.
Has he just kind of retired?
I don't know.
Martin, where are you, Martin?
Yeah,
Come back to us. I need you.
I've wondered the same thing.
I think there was talks of a Martin reboot, I believe.
Really? Okay, that I did not hear.
Him and what's her name has made up, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Tonight's episode brought to you by Founders, Four Giants Imperial IPA. Very delicious.
Nice.
Actually, not a sponsor, but I'm going to pretend they are.
There we go.
Hey, Founders, you're not too far. You want to give me some money? Do it.
It's like, hey, a guy can dream. Come on.
A guy can drink, can he? I mean, dream, can he?
Yeah. Well, just because of, again, he's just so great, and we've already mentioned him, I'm also going to go with the great Danny DeVito.
Yes. Danny DeVito, beloved. Maybe not by his ex-wife. I don't know how that ended, but
yeah, I'm not sure on that one.
Long time, people know, right? Long time married to Rhea Perlman. Also of Cheers.
Cheers.
The spinoff of Cheers that we discussed for a minute. His wife in the film Matilda, which he also directed.
Nice. Good job, Danny. Hope to see it again on when Always Sunny ever ends.
Yeah. I kind of hope it doesn't.
Yeah, I know. It's like keep them coming while we can.
Which he stars on with the lead actor from what show we covered? That 80s Show.
Oh God, yes.
The actor who plays Dennis on that Always Sunny in Philadelphia was the star of That 80s Show. Bet you didn't know that, kids.
There we
go back and listen to our That 80s Show episode.
Okay, I'm going back a little bit to the dark side. We're going to take a term from sitcoms and figure out what show jumped the shark and just kind of went a little too long.
For anybody not listening, which sitcom does that term refer to, Nick?
That is Happy Days, when Henry Winkler as Arthur Fonzarelli jumped the shark, at which people were like, really?
Henry Winkler? Oh, that guy back there, I think, killed him.
Wait, oh, there we go. I'm like, wait.
He was the principal in the first Scream.
Oh,
remember?
Gotcha.
You didn't remember that, did you?
No. I was just trying to see what was in the background because the thing that's like prominent right now for me is your digital clock.
I thought you would mention my secret stash hat.
Ah,
I'm wearing a little jersey right here, baby.
Very nice, very nice. Well, time to again jump the shark. My first nominee for a show that went on a little too long is That 70s Show. Great show, but the Randy Pearson most of that season, we can wipe that one off.
Yeah.
And just end it.
Definitely see where you're coming from on that one.
Oh, yeah.
Which show jumped the shark or went too long? My first nominee. When row too close for comfort.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, way too long. To the point it became a different show.
Exactly. Where'd the daughters go? The whole fucking point of the show was the goddamn daughters.
Yes,
they were hot. I would love to watch them.
And his two daughters, yeah.
I'd rather watch the daughters. Why?
Now, let's see Jay hate me for the second nomination. And again, it's just based on a little too long. King of Queens. Love the show.
Ooh.
But that last part with Doug and Carrie, Carrie with her apartment, them fighting, splitting up, they both want to have the kid. It's like, where are you kind of going? It's not working.
Yeah. And yes, it's bad. The end of the show is bad.
Yeah.
Fortunately, it's not the entirety of the ninth season. I think it's 9 seasons. It's like
it's
the
not
last
the full ninth season,
4 or 5 episodes.
Yeah, but like I said, it's just went a little too long.
And you also had the thing where Arthur's getting married, so he's kind of off, I think.
Yes.
The last 4 or 5 episodes of that King of Queens are terrible.
Yeah.
I think the rest
of the show is great.
Yeah. My second nominee is actually That 70s Show because of Randy
Pearson.
So
see, Randy, you helped win another. You helped win another category.
We lost Eric for the whole season.
Yep.
They add Randy, who sucks, and we lose Kelso midway through the season.
Yep. Yeah,
that's a trifecta.
How bad can we have it?
That's a trifecta of shit when it comes to that show.
That is true.
Kelso and Eric, so important to that show. So by that 70s Show is our winner. Luckily, they waited till the last season to jump the shark.
Yes,
I would say.
And again, like my one nominee, King of Queens, they waited to the last part of the last season.
Right. Fun fact: King of Queens, Jerry Stiller actually at the time of his death. What do you suppose his net worth was?
Oh, 13 million.
Close, 14 million.
Oh wow. Okay.
I kind of expected a little more from him, honestly. But.
Yeah, I would have thought, but it's just like one of those like, well, he's older. Like, yes, even though he had these shows again, Seinfeld and King of Queens, what his cut of it versus the other cast being the top build. Yeah.
I've seen a lot of things popping up online where people wanted a reboot of the King of Queens where Doug's mom now lives with them. I don't know. She was pretty funny on there.
She was funny, but there was just something about Arthur that just,
But if the writing is just... Remember how we learned that apparently Kevin James just has his own guy who writes only for him?
Yeah.
Maybe that guy's just really good at writing for Kevin James. Or
there we go.
What was his weird fucking name? Conniption? Or what was his name?
God.
I remember he had some... Nipfing. That was it. Kevin Nipfing, I think, was his real name. All right. Here we go. Worst lead performance.
Worst lead performance. Oh.
Worst lead performance. My first nominee comes from Nick's favorite show of the season, played by Elizabeth Hess. Janet Darling, mother of Clarissa on Clarissa Explains It All. Well, I actually think the dad was a pretty interesting, mellow, laid-back character. The mom, not so interesting, and in a show that you would think would be pretty feminist. Mm-hmm. Kind of a setback, I feel like, on that show.
Yeah.
So at least if she was funny, you'd forgive a little bit of that, but she wasn't funny. She wasn't interesting, and very rarely had anything to add to a scene. Whereas most of the most important parental scenes, I feel like were Clarissa and Dad. So, sorry.
That's true. Okay, so, no, that is a great first. I am going to go with, again, it was because of, again, yes, he was up for the legacy there, like from your nomination, but just for that show, Kelsey Grammer, it's just, again, it wasn't his fault. It was just what they gave him, which was nothing.
For worst lead performance, you got Kelsey Grammer, huh? Really?
Well, you know what? I think it's just the hatred of the show.
The show is bad. Well, and that's the thing, is he's playing the same character he always plays.
Right.
Which we actually like.
Yes, we
just
normally
that the writing
but it
is
just
bad.
didn't
Yeah.
work in that show because, well...
No. I would honestly argue that Martin Lawrence is worse on that show than Kelsey Grammer is.
Yeah, because he wasn't allowed to even be Martin Lawrence.
Because we know how good he can be, and then
Correct.
how good he wasn't.
Right.
Okay, my second nominee. Oh, boy. Here's your buddy. Monroe Ficus, Jim Bullock.
Yes.
Worst lead performance. And you know what? The writing was bad. The way he played the character was annoying as fuck.
Oh, but the most annoying character.
I understand the purpose of your character is to be annoying, but there is an endearing way to do that.
Yeah, and that wasn't it.
And that fucking wasn't it. Yeah. And the fact that I don't know if what gave these creators the idea that he's the reason. Did they get a lot of fan mail saying, "Oh my God, we love that fucking Monroe"? Because the whole show became the goddamn fuckus show.
Yes,
Ficus fucked us, is what is what happened with Too Close for Comfort.
That's true. Basically, he was like the first iteration of the Urkel. Mm-hmm. The show was not supposed to be around, but eventually everything circled around.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't we learn that the same person adapted this show for America that adapted Three's Company?
I believe so, which is
so
really
if
strange.
If you look at the formula of the original season or two, it's the two hot daughters living in the house, dealing with their parents as landlords, which gives me a lot of the Ropers and Jack and Chrissy and Janet. There's a similar dynamic, only this time it's their actual parents.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling like that was the original inspiration, was the success of that show. And I think you even said it followed the show when it aired.
It did.
So at some point, there must have been a moment where they were like, wow, this fucking random ass Monroe character, because he came in mid-season 1?
Mid-season, yeah.
Something like that. He was another fucking Urkel or a Kimmy Gibbler. He comes in and everybody fucking loves him. I bet Trump fucking loved Monroe. Fuck you. I'm going to blame Trump for this too.
There we go.
Fuck you, Trump.
Damn you and your Monroe.
This is the real reason they arrested him. It has nothing to do with
your bottom guy.
King of the bottoms.
King of the bottoms.
He's the coolest king of the bottoms I've ever seen.
The best bottom.
God. Oh.
And for my second, yes, there is none other but Monroe.
Hey, fuck off. Oh.
Jim J. Bullock as Monroe.
I hope his sister Sandra doesn't get upset. Oh, wait. Never mind.
They're not related.
Fucking. And your winner for worst performance. Congratulations. God.
Yeah, you got what was coming to you.
Wow. There's no deeper jokes there.
Okay, here's an interesting one. What show could actually work as an animated show? Now, there's caveat. Because a few shows, one was an animated show, so of course that's out of the running. Yep. And there were a couple of shows that were animated at times.
Right, and I didn't want to go with one that had already been an animated show because I feel like that's a cop-out.
Yes. So... My first, I think Beverly Hillbillies actually would work great as an animated show.
Yes, actually, it's a very good choice. It's already such a cartoon to begin with.
Correct.
I did not think of that. But my first nominee is in a similar vein and not too far off from another show that actually did become an animated show. I chose The Munsters.
Was animated for one episode.
Was it really?
Yes, there was an animated Munsters. It lasted one episode. That's how bad it was.
They only made one episode to air, or just they made a pilot and it failed?
Yeah, I believe it was a pilot. It failed.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, it's so similar to The Addams Family, which was an animated show. I don't even think The Addams Family lasted that long either, though, right? Maybe a season or two?
Yeah, 1 or 2 seasons.
I believe that was Hanna-Barbera, correct?
Yes, Addams Family was Hanna-Barbera. The one that did Munsters, it had that stylistic of the Pink Panther, that type of animation. Okay.
Next?
My next one actually, I think also would work was F Troop. I think F Troop would work well as an animated show.
I did consider F Troop. Cowboys and Indians and
exactly.
That's just ripe for the picking.
Yeah,
and again, very slapsticky. Could have.
Yes. Again, fits into that animated style.
My second choice is actually, I thought real hard about it, and I thought, what's a show that maybe didn't work as much for us as a live show, but maybe could have worked as an animated show?
Don't say Partners.
There was nope.
Okay. Sure.
There was also elements of the show that were animated. I thought Clarissa Explains It All could have made an interesting children's cartoon show.
I could see that. I could see, again.
You could go a little farther with the brother-sister rivalry. You could have a little more fun. You could leave the fucking house once in a while.
Yeah, there we go.
You could have more of her in school. You could have, I think that
she can leave her room or the living room.
Honestly, she probably would have been a pretty good little voice actress. Even she had a lot of inflection in her voice, and she would.
True.
I'm sorry, she had a lot of inflection in her voice. She could have probably done a great job being an animated voice, but
yeah, I could definitely see that.
All right, well, I think you have two great choices.
Yeah, I'm really leaning, I think, to the Beverly Hillbillies. Like you said, it has the elements that translate very well to an animated show. And
I think both are great choices.
Yeah. And I think with the Beverly Hillbillies, you can be a little more over the top. I think it could be a little more slapsticky on the F Troop.
Well, and that's the weird thing. I think that our main complaint of F Troop was the second season was too cartoony and slapsticky without any substance. But if you made that a cartoon,
yep.
Honestly, and you know what? We only got 2 seasons of F Troop, so
true. So yeah,
we got 9, wasn't it? 9 seasons
of Beverly Hillbillies. Yeah. So you know what?
I think F Troop
gets the nod.
Hey, I like that. There you go. Very good. Congratulations, F Troop. You would have made a great cartoon show. I think the first season of F Troop is brilliant, and I think they got a little too slapsticky. They started making everybody slapsticky. I think season 2. Whereas Parmenter, Ken Berry, the first season, him as the slapstick character, beautiful. Chef's kiss.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect. But there was a little too much, they started relying a lot on Agarn in drag. I feel like there was 4 episodes in a row where it was Agarn in drag, and you're like, okay, it's funny once, but why do you keep doing it?
Right. And then, then you also had
him playing his own 15 family members and shit. Okay.
Yeah, like the guy that was on the loose.
They almost made it the fucking Agarn show. They almost Monroe'd his ass.
Yeah, they came close, but yeah.
All right, F Troop winning.
Okay, what do you got?
We talked about which show was most deserving of an animated show. I wrote a category similar. Which show was most deserving of a big budget modern movie adaptation that hasn't had one? Because we all know, Addams Family's been around forever.
Correct.
There's been many a film, many a show.
Yeah, and actually Beverly Hillbillies has got
Beverly Hillbillies had a feature film as well, starring the great Cloris Leachman, which we didn't mention on our fucking episode for some reason.
I don't know why.
We were talking about the Beverly Hillbillies movie. We love Cloris Leachman. We never once mentioned that she played Granny. That she played fucking Granny. All right, my first nominee. I think a big budget animated film could be a good time with the Oblongs. You had the Simpsons movie. You had, you have even things like Bob's Burgers getting a movie. It wasn't a great movie, but they got a fucking movie.
Great show, not so great movie.
The movie's average, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the Oblongs, if you took, and it's such an interesting world, so many great characters, as we mentioned, the voice cast already is amazing. But you could do, like, that's the thing that a lot of these movies don't, that you got to make the story big enough to warrant a movie.
Yeah.
Like the Simpson movie, I didn't think it was amazing, but I like it because at least the story's big enough.
Right.
To warrant a movie. You know what I mean? But the Oblongs with the whole, the landfill, the toxic shit, there could be so many interesting stories you could tell.
Yes. For my first, I'm actually going to go the again, my favorite sitcom. I think actually you could, what the original idea of Taxi was about these cabbies, from one garage, basically multiple stories, basically an anthology type of film about, and then,
So you want a prequel?
Yeah, you could do a prequel, or, maybe
Robert De Niro shows up looking for a job.
That's a different taxi driver.
Oh, sorry. Monroe.
No. What would you say for the second?
I mentioned that I didn't think it deserved another season, but I mentioned how much I loved all these characters in other films. And honestly, a modern day catch-up type of sequel, I think of things like Wet Hot American Summer.
Oh, yeah.
Something like that. I think a similar style sequel film to Freaks and Geeks.
That would be a great way to do it.
I think that could be a phenomenal way to bring all these. They're all, pretty big stars. I'm sure Franco wouldn't be allowed to be involved, but
yeah, that's a
everyone else
story,
is still. They're still around. A lot of them are still relevant. They're still funny.
Well, like maybe Danny Masterson could play the role. Oh, never mind. Oops.
About that.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I also agree that would be the better way to follow up. Like, okay, what's happening? Not what's happening. That actually came from a movie.
And we got to know her parents, the main girl. I forget her name. Shannon, not Shannon Woodward. What's
no.
From Raising Hope.
Linda Cardellini.
Yes, Linda. She looks so much like the Sabrina from Raising Hope. I confused them a lot. Both hot brunettes, but yeah, like we got to know her parents so well. We could now see how she raises a family. Maybe she's a married woman. You could see her brother as the uncle. You could see her parents as the grandparents, and you could see what happened to these stoner ass losers.
Yep.
As time went on.
Yeah. Did Jason Segel's character go into the military? Like basically he would be just stuck doing, like based on his dad would,
And just the fact that it's a dramedy, to me would work so much better as a movie than that worked as a show.
Yeah, and truthfully, I think dramedies work better nowadays as because the typical comedy that we kind of grew up with, like as far as movies, you don't see much of. Yeah, but a dramedy, yes.
Well, and you could have the show had that dry humor. It didn't have the audience, so you don't have to overcome the changing of the feel of a show. If you made King of Queens into a fucking movie, you would immediately have a different feel because you're not dealing with a studio audience and all that bullshit. You know what I mean?
Mm. No, that's I totally agree that Freaks and Geeks would make a great feature film follow-up.
So is that your second?
That's my second.
Hey, there it is. Freaks and Geeks. Make us a fucking movie, man.
I know.
What you doing, Apatow? We just made you $1 billion. Go fucking do it. And the good news is the movie has gained such a cult following over so many years.
The show.
Yeah. What did I say, movie? The show has gained such a great cult following over the years. All of his films have gained such a great cult following.
True.
I will say, Apatow, if you could make a movie under 2 hours,
Yeah.
I'd like you a million times fucking more.
Yeah.
But I've gotten to the point where I watch an Apatow movie, and when you get to about the hour and a half mark, if you just skip the next 20 minutes and then watch the rest, it's brilliant. There's always some fucking extra fucking story thread in there that I'm like, okay, dude. I don't like to laugh. I can't laugh that long. Over 2.5 hours. Some of these fucking movies. Too much fucking comedy, man. Leave us wanting something. But make me a fucking Freaks and Geeks movie. It's a dramedy, so we won't laugh as much. We'll have a little more character.
Mm-hmm. We can get the feels. Come on. Yeah.
Congratulations, Freaks and Geeks.
Okay.
Which one are you again? Which one did you say you identify as?
I'm sorry. Oh, of the Freaks and Geeks?
Yeah. Are you a freak or a geek?
Probably
you bite
a
heads
big
off
geek.
bats?
Yeah.
You bite heads off bats in a circus? I think that's what a geek was, right?
No, wait. I'm trying to remember now the
I think the geeks were the ones that bit the fucking like animal heads off or some shit.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the actual either that or it was something Classy Freddie Blassie wanted to get rid of pencil neck geeks.
Is that a male prostitute you've known or
No. Oh, again, I keep forgetting your age. But he was a
Me too. That's the fucked up thing. I gotta stop drinking.
Yeah. He was a wrestling manager when I was young. He managed the Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov.
All right.
Okay.
Write in the comments below your favorite Iron Sheik memories.
Oh, yes.
I don't know who that is, but I assume some of you will have great lasting
Oh my God, you don't know
memories.
the Iron Sheik?
He just died, right? Did we mention him on
he
one?
did just die. Yeah. It's like, well,
so as I said, right below,
he was the real, as he would always point out on Twitter. Hey, here's a fun category.
I think they've all been fun.
I
Nick.
think they all have, but here's
Dirt
just like
Plunkett also thinks they've been fun.
okay. What food from the different shows that we watch would you most want to try?
Mm-hmm.
Let's start it with Granny's roast possum from the Beverly Hillbillies.
This was a weird question when you said that to me today. I was like, what the fuck is this dude talking about? I was trying to think of any distinct foods. I didn't really. But
Okay.
I did come up with 2 dinner tables I would really love to eat at. Because I'm sure it was fucking great.
Oh, okay.
So I said for my first one, I would say anything off Kitty Foreman's table. I feel like she was probably a great fucking cook. Red Foreman does not seem like a man who would stay with a woman who couldn't make his ass a good dinner when he got home from work, right?
That's true.
And you know she's using extra seasoning because she was drunk off her ass every time she was in that kitchen. She'd be like, a little sherry, a little sherry, a little sherry, a little sherry.
Yes. And along those lines, I would also, and I'm sure this is probably the other dinner table you would think of. The dish I would say is Marie's lasagna from Everybody Loves Raymond, but Marie Barone, oh my God, the dishes that she would whip up.
Well, I did not say Marie because I feel like I would be the Robert of the bunch. She'd be like, this motherfucker. I did go with another family dinner table, though. You have a guess?
Full House?
Florida Evans, I feel like.
Oh, Florida, yes. Yeah,
Florida
that's true.
Evans of Good Times. I bet you
Yes.
she was a good-ass fucking cook, man. Again, James? You think James was going to stay with a woman who couldn't fucking cook him some good-ass dish? Come the fuck on, man. I bet you fucking Katie Foreman and Florida Evans were both good-ass cooks, man.
Oh, yeah. Here's the fun thing.
As long as you didn't say Deborah.
No. No. Yeah, Deborah's lemon chicken. I'm going to throw in a wild card.
Oh.
Again, normally it's 2, but here's the other one. You could have any of those other dishes or, like, be at those tables.
Dish.
Or would you like to try one of Latka's cookies? Would you like to be famous like the famous Amos?
I don't want to try anything Latka ever fucking stood near. Nothing. That
You-
dude's
you-
a fucking freak. I want him gone.
Do you remember the main ingredient in those cookies?
I do not remember. No, was it marijuana?
No, it was not marijuana. He had, chocolate. He had, flour. He had
Cocaine.
cocoa leaves. Oh yeah, the cocoa leaves.
Oh, yeah,
The
cocaine,
main
yeah.
ingredient in cocaine.
Yeah. If he made it, no, I don't fucking want it. I don't want anything to do with it.
Okay.
Fuck,
Again, you have the option of the cookie.
I'm not eating fucking possum. I'm not eating fucking cocaine. Marie is a good option.
Yeah.
But like I said, I would get the Robert treatment. She'd be like, oh, leftovers in the fucking fridge from 3 days ago that Raymond didn't eat.
But you know what? Even the leftovers, I'm sure, are great. I am an Italian. You make some good Italian dishes. Oh yeah, you're wanting the leftovers next couple of days.
I don't know. It's hard to say. Like, the Evans lived below the poverty line.
True.
Does that make the food worse? Not necessarily.
No, it does not.
All right, we'll give it to Marie.
Okay.
All right, Marie.
Congratulations, Marie. Because I'm sure if we did not give it to her, she would be all over us on why we were wrong. And
Well, we should have given it to Kitty because she's the only one alive to cook for us still. So,
true. Yeah, that is true.
but we'll give it to Marie.
Okay.
Right, let's see.
You're next.
Let's go with favorite relationship. And I wrote not only
that's-
romantic, it could be romantic, could be familial, it could be any kind of relationship. But I would think two characters, the way they interact, which relationship in general is your favorite? And my first nominee from one of my favorite shows, because it's just fucking kills me every time they speak, is Doug and Carrie from The King of Queens.
And of course you say that, now I have the song stuck in my head. Do you remember?
What? The theme song?
No, not
Oh,
the theme
Doug
song.
and Carrie, Doug and Carrie,
Doug and Carrie, Doug and Carrie. Arthur, Doug. And it's like at the end of the episode, he's got everyone in the bar singing that. Doug and
Yeah.
Carrie.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So for my first relation, I am going to choose. Yeah, and it's
You've never had relations before?
hey now, hey.
You know what? That
you're
doesn't shock me.
No. It's Monroe. No, just kidding.
Oh my. Are you the king of the tops then?
No. Now I am going with let's see which ones though. Now I'm gonna go with Robert and Ray Barone.
Oh yeah, good one.
The brothers.
I did consider. I do. That is probably my favorite part of the show is their relationship.
Yeah. Well, it's really like kind of the little bit of the triangle between like those two and Marie and Frank also fawning over Ray and not so much over Robert.
I went with another familial relationship that always cracked me up.
Let's see if I can show it. Is it someone you were just mentioning?
It was someone that left the show and the show got worse.
Oh, okay.
I think Eric and Red Foreman are a perfect yin to yang
Yes.
generational relationship. The fact that Red Foreman birthed Eric Foreman
Yeah.
is an anomaly, and it is brilliant.
Or you could be a little more specific with the relation. It could be Red's foot and Eric's ass.
Right.
Okay, for the second one on my side,
And both of mine went from the comedy aspect.
yeah. Oh, no, same here. It's like, Yeah, there are some good, heartwarming as well, but
that's not as fun.
not as fun. But I am going actually the route of Frank and Marie Barone. Because
you got 2 from Everybody Loves Raymond, huh?
Yeah. Again, the Barones were just...
Which is funny, because for my second one, I almost went Doug and Arthur. I had a hard time choosing Doug and Carrie or Doug and Arthur.
Arthur. Doug
and again,
Carrie.
if anyone out there is listening and they don't remember or they didn't listen to our episodes on King of Queens or Everybody Loves Raymond, King of Queens is a spinoff of Everybody Loves Raymond, which is hilarious.
Basically, yeah.
So the fact that one of my favorite shows is a spinoff of one of his favorite shows is very bizarre.
Yes.
You said Frank and Marie?
Frank and Marie.
And Ray and
Robert.
I would say of those 2, Ray and Robert is a better, funnier relationship.
I think
it's more layered.
There's
more layered.
Opportunities that they have with Ray and Robert. But
I think there's more to it.
With Frank and Marie, I think you have one of the funniest moments, like scenes when they're returning the coffee maker to get back the toaster that Ray got for them for Christmas, which was engraved with their names.
Mm-hmm.
And where Marie tells Frank, I'm not some kind of trophy wife. And to which Frank is
what contest in hell did I win?
You're a trophy wife? What contest in hell did I win?
He won a sitcom.
There we go. Oh, hey.
Hey, that sitcom can be a fucking, just a trophy looks like Marie.
Let's see. I think from your 2, so you're choosing Ray Robert from mine.
I think that's the funnier dynamic, and I think that Frank and Marie are funny, but it's the same funny over and over, where I feel like Robert and it's such a competitive.
Right.
I think the competition aspect.
And a lot of times it's for the same thing. It's really like for their mother's affection, usually. Mm-hmm. And for yours, let's see, Doug and Carrie or Red and Eric. That's a tough one. Like, being that we were talking about the main and the spinoff, we'll say Doug and Carrie.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So we have Doug and Carrie versus Ray and Robert, of which they've been on each other's shows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, obviously, I'm gonna fight for Doug and Carrie. I know,
and I'm gonna fight for Ray and Robert because
Doug and Carrie, I feel like you get the best of both worlds because they have the relationship aspect as well as the adversarial aspect, and then you throw in Arthur as a wrench in the fucking machine. And it's so Arthur is basically their Marie, so they both have the same exact thing.
Yeah. They have. Yeah, it's like, okay,
they're not fighting for the affection of Arthur. They're fighting for which fucker has to deal with Arthur.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is with Marie, with the 2 boys, part of it is the fighting for the affection, and part of it's like, no, you in fact, there's an episode where it's like talking about, okay, if Frank dies, okay, you take care of her. It's like, right. Oh, no, you take it. And then it becomes like, no, I'm going to take care of her. So, yeah, this is a very tough one because, these are 2 of our favorite shows. I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Could this actually be the first tie for Sitcom My Face, our annual awards? Because these are 2 of, I think,
2
the greatest.
Of each of our favorite shows. I don't know that we could sway each other.
Yeah, and the fact of we also agree on like, oh, okay, these relationships are awesome. Like, are some of the funniest things of those shows.
All right, I'll allow it.
So we actually have a tie.
Unless you turn into cotton candy.
Ah!
Oh, he's dead. Doug and Carrie win. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Well, congratulations to Doug and Carrie and Robert and Raymond.
Woo!
Yeah, it is funny. They've all shared scenes together, which is from two different
true.
shows. That's pretty funny.
That is very funny.
And not even the same creators.
No, which is quite odd.
Also strange. The spinoff is not the same creator. Yeah.
Yeah, usually it's like when you have a spinoff, it's like, oh yeah, well, yeah. Same group, same creators, same producers. No.
Well, both great shows. If you don't go watch Everybody Loves Raymond and you don't go watch King and Queens, that's your fucking loss.
Okay.
Your life's worse for it.
Okay, next one on mine. And this is one, let's go rapid. I'm going to say the category and let's just throw them all out there and then decide what wins. Because,
all right.
You know what a lot of these sitcoms have? Really good catchphrases. So, the best catchphrase. Dynamite.
I also have Dynamite.
You could also have a foot up your ass.
That is my second nomination. A foot in your ass. Red Foreman, that 70s show.
Now
I know what your next one's going to be.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Holy crap. Oh,
yes, holy crap is in there too. But thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That's Latka, Taxi.
Yes.
Yeah. Frank from Everybody Loves Raymond is holy crap.
Yes. And I'm going to throw one of your favorites. Drink. Fuck.
Fuck off, Father Ted.
Arse. Girls. From Father Ted.
I would say Full House, Uncle Jesse. Have mercy.
How about the classic? You rang.
What'd you say?
You rang.
Oh, you rang. Yep. Would the laugh be a catchphrase?
Yeah, I guess we could actually.
Herman Munster.
Yes. And let's say your favorite from Full House. You got it, dude.
Yeah. Or Joey, cut it out. A lot of options. The two that I wrote, though, were the first two you named. Dynamite and foot in your ass and every variation of it.
Yes.
My favorite being Red going,
yes,
you morons just hung vacancy signs on your ass and my foot's looking for a room.
Yes. Yes. Foot up your ass does get the win. Because it's some of the other ones are so quick.
Yeah.
But
and it comes in so many different versions. There's so many variations of it.
Foot up your ass is so versatile.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's so many that Red.
Even Kitty said it to Red one time, and he's like, "What the?"
Okay.
The one where Kelso gets his hand stuck in the vase, and he's like, "It's a classic case of hand stuck in vase." He goes, "Well, get it off, or you're about to have a classic case of foot stuck in ass." Yeah. There's so many different ways to use it. Let's go with most lasting legacy TV show.
TV show.
This is not character, not actor. This is the show itself. My first nominee, I actually think that, as we discussed in one of our last episodes, I think Full House actually has a pretty big lasting legacy, much against the will of Nick, but I think the fact that it had a reboot that lasted, what did we say, 4 or 5 seasons?
Something
Fuller
like
House?
That. Yeah, I think 5
Too
seasons.
long. Probably jumped the shark twice in that.
Yeah.
But hey, it came back. We talked about how much we loved, Bob Saget and people like that who were involved with the show. I think whether you like it or not, I think Full House has a pretty long lasting legacy, especially for people of my generation. As the 3 guests we had on told me.
Yes. Yes. The average age of the guests, still a little younger than me.
Well, who isn't? Everyone older than you is dead.
Hey. Well,
Anyway,
for my nomination for lasting legacy for a show, I will say Taxi. It was strong enough that even though ABC canceled it, NBC picked it up.
only for like 1 year though, right?
It was only 1 year, yes.
And a legacy, I don't know that a lot of people still discuss it. I mean, we discuss it, we love it, but honestly, are younger people talking about Taxi, or they go, "What the fuck is that movie with Jimmy Fallon and Queen Latifah?"
No. But when you go to critics, when you go to people that
I'm saying it should have more of a lasting legacy. I just don't know if it does.
Yeah, well, yeah. Again, the whole Full House thing, I'm still not sold.
Right, there you go. My second choice, I think, is hard to argue with. The Addams Family.
Yes, and the Addams Family, to this day, is still spinning things off. Wednesday is still having reboots,
Which was a
animated.
huge hit. Yeah.
What's that?
Wednesday was a huge hit for Netflix.
Yes,
It's getting another season as soon as the strike's over, I guess.
correct. And I will agree that the Addams Family has like one of the most lasting legacies.
Mm-hmm.
Again, no matter who you ask, whether it's critically,
And no matter what age.
yeah,
Every age has some version of. They're doing the animated movies. Remember, they're doing those new
Exactly.
CGI like animated movies.
The
They're
new
doing
ones.
the old cartoon show, the old '60s show. You had the '90s movies. You had the straight to DVD movies. You had 2 or 3 reboots of the show. I think the new Addams Family and reunion movies of the old show.
right.
I mean, Wednesday was a huge hit. I don't even think they expected that, but I guess
No, I don't think so,
involved, and Jenna Ortega's a huge star now. So
Right. And you have the last Wednesday also in there as well with Christina Ricci.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, congratulations. Yeah, I didn't think there was any debate on that one. I mean,
No,
I figured
Addams
that would
Family,
be the winner. Yeah. Even if you say the Munsters, they go, "What the fuck is that?"
Yeah. No. It's out of it. Well, it came back into the whole thing because of Rob Zombie's thing. Just like, oh, what's this? Well, okay.
I don't even know if young people realized that was a remake or a reboot
Yeah.
of any. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but
Who I don't know who he made that for. Still to this day,
not sure.
Go watch our commentary track on the Monsters made by Rob Zombie.
Okay.
Hopefully, I saw that movie the other day. I was in a store. That movie was sitting there on Blu-ray for $1, and I still was like, nah. And I own things like Back to You, starring Kelsey Grammer.
Wow. Again, the tarnishing of the legacy of it there, as he was brought up earlier.
Oh man. So to recap real quick, characters we could have done without: Randy Pearson, unexpected gem / underrated show, Speechless, show worthy of another season, The Oblongs. Which show jumped the shark / went too long? That would be that 70s show.
Yes, the
Funniest-
Randy Pearson years.
Which show could have worked as an animated program? F Troop. Best catchphrase: foot in your ass and every variation of it, of Red Foreman and that 70s show. Which show featured a food you'd most like to try? Well, that would be anything, but apparently specifically the lasagna made by Marie Barone on Everybody Loves Raymond. Most iconic vehicle: the 1921 Oldsmobile Model 26 Roadster Swamp Rat, owned by the
Beverly
Clampetts
Hillbillies.
on the Beverly Hillbillies. Your biggest letdown. Partners, starring 2 of the funniest people we know, Kelsey Grammer and Martin Lawrence, and it sucks.
Yes.
The most lasting legacy TV show, The Addams Family, of course. Most lasting legacy actor or actress, that goes to Danny DeVito. If you don't like Danny DeVito, I've said it before, get the fuck out. Worst lead performance. Worst lead performance goes to Monroe Ficus Jim Bullock. No relation to Sandra Bullock. Funniest
That's true.
ensemble cast. Taxi. Most deserving of a big budget modern movie adaptation, but has not had one. We actually agreed on Freaks and Geeks. I did not think that would happen there. Favorite relationship. We had a tie on this category.
Yep.
Our first ever.
Correct.
Doug and Carrie versus Robert and Raymond of Everybody Loves Raymond. Doug and Carrie, of course, of King of Queens. Anything else you want to add to our second annual award show here, Nick?
No, just, again, we watched some incredible shows. Some maybe not as incredible. But I think...
How did Clarissa not win any? Oh, wait, her mom won an award.
Oh, yeah.
No, her mom was nominated for an award.
Nominated. But I think, for the most part of what we watched was some incredible sitcoms. We also got into our first dramedy.
Mm-hmm.
There will be others, but, this was our first taste of a dramedy. We had shows that came from movies, and we had shows that went to movies. Do you remember which one was the came from?
Which one of these sitcoms came from a movie? Let me look at the list here real quick. Not Full House, not Taxi. What's Happening?
What's Happening? Cooley High.
Yep.
And then, went to movies. We had multiple.
Yeah, the best one being The Munsters, made by Rob Zombie. God. Megan, stop. Well, if we go into the third season here pretty soon, what are you most looking forward to? What are your hopes? What is something you want to revisit or watch for the first time, perhaps, and add to this podcast we're doing here, sir?
I'm looking. We had our first taste of Norman Lear. But
I think it's time, huh?
I think it's time for a little Lear and a little Gary
I'll give
Marshall.
you a little Lear.
But a little Lear and a little Gary Marshall. I think those two should be on our radar for this year. What about yourself?
Yeah, I think that it is time to hit some of those heavy hitters, some of those Norman Lear shows. One of my favorite redheads has still not made an appearance here, so maybe perhaps some of her shows will pop up.
That's true. She had a few.
Yeah, Life with Lucy being the best.
Okay. I was going to say, and
I'm looking forward to making you watch some more Nickelodeon shows.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Write in the comments below which ones you want me to torture him with.
Oh, no. No, like I said, I think...
No.
No. And I think, like I said, I think it's time to get into, like you said, the heavy hitters. Again, the Gary Marshalls, the Norman Lears, and just some of the other, like your Larry Charleses, things such as that direction. Or, Larry Charles, Larry David. Start heading to those directions.
You're just naming Seinfeld writers now?
Hey.
All right. Well, if you want to find us, you can find us on YouTube, Sitcom My Face, Facebook.com/Sitcom My Face. I'm on Twitter at BidwellFog or Twitch.tv/BidwellFog. He is Twitch.tv/NetNick191. We are also available on X, formerly known as Twitter, at BidwellFog.
And at Sitcom My Face, we do exist.
Send us your show recommendations for next season. We do listen. I do read the comments. I even send Nick over here photos here and there of the comments we get.
Yes.
I know Becker and some of those other kind of shows have popped up in the comments section, so maybe
that's possible.
What would we like these kind folks to do for us, Nicholas?
We would like them to sitcom my face.